do with my glasses? Am I supposed to read QSL cards with no glasses? And not those ones. I just had them. Are they on my head? No. Pocket? No. I just had them on my head. Okay, I have no idea what I did with the glasses I was wearing just like 3 minutes ago. No idea. So I'm going to use these when it comes time for needing glasses. I'm going to use these big thick things. I don't like them. They're heavy. Anyway, glasses are nothing but aggravation. That's the reason I had LASIK done, because as a kid all the way through high school and clear up until I think I had LASIK done when I was 30, 31, somewhere in there. Really enjoyed it, not having to have glasses all the time, but got to that age because of the astigmatism I had. I have to wear reading glasses a little earlier because of how much correction they had to do to my eyes to fix my distant vision. So they told me ahead of time, hey, you're probably going to need reading glasses a little sooner than you normally would have, but it is what it is. How did I get stuck on the glasses thing? Anyway, what's been going on around the place here? That's the point of this whole video. Well, I want to give you an update around the homestead here. Our apple crop is awesome this year. In fact, it's too awesome. Normally in June we have what's called a June drop. Some of the apples drop off and it gets the crop just about right. This year it hasn't happened so far. We're loaded down with apples, especially our Gala apples. And it's funny, I think we've got 9 varieties of apples in our little orchard. And it seems like every year one variety just doesn't do well, 1 or 2. This year one of them, and I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, just hardly has any apples on it at all. The other varieties just loaded down with apples. Now the apple trees, I think if you watch the video that we picked up some apple trees from Costco, those things are actually doing fairly well. I didn't even think they were going to live the way they looked. But 2 of them actually bloomed, which really surprised me. For their first year planted, they're out there blooming. Fortunately, no apples got on them. I had one apple tree do that before, and it just about nearly killed that tree. Now, if those had taken, I would have pulled the apples off. But those trees are actually doing fairly well. It kind of surprised me. The way they looked when I pulled them out of those bags, I was pretty sure none of them were going to live, and all of them's doing fairly well. So, but the rest of the trees are completely loaded, and thankfully I trimmed most of those trees this year. The peach trees we trimmed are looking awesome. They're not overloaded with peaches. Now there's about 10 peach trees I didn't get to this year. They're overloaded with peaches. Unfortunately, it's late enough in the year. It's hard to pick those little peaches off without screwing the limbs up that they're attached to. So we're going to have to just do a lot of propping on those trees. And the other unfortunate thing, if you got a lot of peaches on your peach trees, usually they don't get real big. We prefer a big peach that you don't have to mess around as much when you're canning with all those little dinky peaches. But I don't know how much canning the wife's going to do this year. We've been pretty busy. Both of us have a lot of stuff going on. So we just may sell some of those peaches and get rid of them that way. But yeah, we're already looking at propping those trees up. So the whole homestead in general is doing very well this year. Unfortunately, if you haven't heard, the Pacific Northwest right now is on fire, burning up with heat. Here at the house, it hasn't been too terrible. We've hit 102 a couple days, but just not far from us, like just in town, 20 miles away, they've been hitting 106 or so. Just a couple hours away, they've been up to 117, 118 degrees, which is insane, especially for June. Yesterday we had a little fire pretty close to, well, you know, relatively close to us, about probably 10, 15 air miles away. They were just out cutting hay with a rotary cutter, hit a rock or something, caused a few sparks, and away it went. Had a little wind behind it, wound up burning about 100, 200 acres from the looks of it. We went over. It was kind of funny. Normally I listen to the radio in the house. You know, I've got a two-way radio sitting there and listen to local traffic. Well, it got turned down, and I'm sitting there and I'm hearing airplanes flying over the house, fairly low. I mean, man, those sounds like seats, or, you know, modified crop dusters is what they are. single engine air tankers. So sure enough, walk outside, here's a seat flying over. So we jump in the rig, we turn the radio up first and found out there's a fire not far away. Ran down there just to take a look and got to see him drop a couple loads on the edge of the fire. That was the boy, he loves that kind of stuff. So it's neat to watch, but it's pretty scary to have those kind of fires already in June. The temperatures here, down there where the fire was, I think we had about 107 on our on the truck temperature. How accurate that is, I'm not sure. When you're sitting, it went up to like 115, but once you got moving some airflow, it dropped down to about 107, which still way too hot. Normally we get a few hot days a year here, touching 100, but it's usually just a few days. So like in the house, we've never even bothered with AC because we just really didn't need it. This year, we're wishing we had it. Now here in the office, fortunately, about 2 weeks before all this hit, I finished up the mini split in here. It took forever to get here. I had it on order forever, and it finally showed up. I've never hooked up one of these things before, and I was a little apprehensive about doing it, but I did get it done. Fortunately, one of the guys I work with was a former heating and AC guy, so he gave me a lot of advice and actually loaned me the vacuum pump and everything to get the lines evacuated. So it worked out really good. I was still super apprehensive about doing it, but got it hooked up. It's been working great, and it's quite a bit oversized. This office with the storage in the bathroom and everything is about 600-ish square feet. And this is a 24,000 BTU unit, so it's just loafing along, which is kind of what I wanted. I didn't want it to be right on the edge of, maybe I'll cool off today, maybe I won't. And it's been an excellent choice in here since it's been so hot outside. I hate hot weather, so having a nice 72 in here is just perfect. What else has been going on around the place? Of course, we got the new toy hauler. We've been out using it, kind of using it as base camp to go out and explore mines and get some videos done. Those will be coming up shortly. In fact, I was just editing some of this and decided to stop real quick and give you an update about what's been going on around here. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at around here right now. The wife, she had her surgery for cochlear implants, I want to say 6 weeks ago. And the way they do that is they go in and do the surgery, put the inside part all in place, and then they let it heal for about 4 weeks. And then the outside part goes on and they activate it. And the way I had read this, that it may take a while for your brain to readjust to this new way of hearing, because it's a little, it's quite a bit different than the way you would naturally hear. And most of the articles I read said, you got to completely retrain your brain, go through all this training and to do this therapy to learn it. And I've been shocked. She's only had that in the outside part on for 2 weeks maybe, and she can understand what everybody's saying. It's been actually amazing to watch what that's done for her. You can tell her quality of life has greatly improved, being able to tell the direction of sound, constantly not having to yell to talk to her, because if you were on her right side, you could talk to her and she'd walk right past you and really not hear you. And it's amazing. I kind of played around with this. I'm like, is she really not hearing me? Well, if you plug one side and walk around, or stick an earplug in one side, walk around a little bit, and pretty soon anything on that side, you just kind of quit noticing it. And so, yeah, it's been a huge improvement on her quality of life. So that's been really nice to see. And we're only in the first stages of this. So every time we go back and visit, they change things a little bit to give her more audio to improve things. So it's only going to get better from here. So that's the update on her hearing. Let's talk about Amazon Prime real quick. Prime Day was whatever it was, a week ago. I bought a couple things, and I'm about ready to drop my Prime membership because Amazon is so frustrating. For those of us out in these rural areas, we paid, whatever it is a year for Prime. And I know they've got the TV part of it and their shows and all that stuff, but we just don't use it. We mainly pay Prime just to have the shipping. In the past, before this whole COVID thing hit, most things got here in 2 to 3 days, no problem. Ever since then, it's been terrible. We order something, we may not see it for at least a week, maybe 2 weeks. Why am I paying for Amazon Prime if they're not going to ship the stuff like they used to? Amazon, wake up. Man, it's so frustrating that they used to have this great service, and it's just completely terrible now. You order things and it's just kind of a crapshoot on when you're going to get it. Anyway, Amazon Prime Day, I did buy a couple things. I bought a semi-decent sound meter, decibel meter. I've wanted one for quite a while. I've had an old cheap one that worked about half the time. So I bought a little bit better one. And we're going to use that in some upcoming videos. Now, this thing is a little gimbal for cell phones. It's a Hohem iSteady V2. I don't know. It had pretty good reviews, and it was a Prime Day special, a little bit knocked off of it. The reason I bought that thing is when I'm doing mine videos, here lately, I've not felt like dragging all the camera gear out with me, especially if I'm on the dirt bike. And so I've kind of fell back to using my cell phone. It takes pretty decent video quality, but I would like to have a stabilizer for it. So I picked that thing up. You'll see not that on some upcoming videos, but in the future, you'll see me using that. It's just handier to use that cell phone out there, and it takes 4K video. Now, the one thing I've found, if you get in dark areas, the video quality is not awesome. So unless you have a lot of light with you, if you're going underground, it's not the best choice, but if I'm traveling light, it is what it is. That's what we're probably going to be using. The other thing, when I'm doing these mine videos, when I'm traveling light like that, especially mines that I just happen to stumble across, don't have a lot of knowledge on, I will just take some video, and I've been working with voiceover. I bought the Scarlett 2i2, I think, whatever that thing is back there. It came with this mic, a little Scarlett studio mic. I've been playing with it, with some new software, and a couple other mics, these MXL mics. Been using those, trying to figure out which way I want to go there. Been really working with the voiceover thing quite a bit, trying to get that pinned down and make the audio sound decent. With my voice, I don't know if it's going to sound great, but it'll maybe sound decent. So been working with that quite a bit. As you can see, the desk is just kind of a disaster right now because I'll get it all cleaned up and then I'll come up with some new brainstorm and it just becomes a mess while I'm experimenting. Once I'm done experimenting, I clean it back up, and 2 days later I'm experimenting with something else. So that's the way the desk currently looks while I've been playing with this voiceover stuff, trying to figure out exactly what I want to do there. I bought something else on Prime. Probably that little light that's hiding back there. Probably the other thing. During Prime Day, that's the other thing I bought. Anyway, we've been out enjoying that RV, making some mine videos. Hopefully you'll be seeing those here before too long. The other thing, and the reason I wanted my glasses, been getting some QSL cards. Normally, in today's world, for those of you who are in hams, a QSL card is kind of a confirmation that we talk to each other. It used to be very common that those, you would exchange QSL cards all the time. Recent years, probably the last 10 years, it's really been on the decline, and I'm just as guilty as anybody. It's much easier to use Logbook of the World or whatever service you want to make that confirmation electronically. But I really enjoy getting QSL cards in the mail. I've got some over the last few months. They've just been sitting here. I haven't been able to get the time to respond. Today we're going to fix that. But I thought I'd go through these QSL cards with you guys real quick. And so if you're one of these folks that sent me a card, your card's here on the desk. We're going to get one sent back out to you today. Like I said, most of these haven't been opened yet. I'm going to open them just how my wife hates. I just take my finger in here and grip any way I can and Drives her nuts when I open mail like that. She's very precise about opening mail, and I'm the exact opposite. Whiskey 6 Tango Delta X-Ray. Thanks for the card, my friend. I will make sure you get one sent back out today. Christopher, thank you for the card. November Tango 9 Whiskey. Thanks, David, for the card. We'll get one in the mail to you today. Hope there's not any hate mail on any of these. Kilo Charlie 1, November Yankee. Thank you, sir. Bob, for the card. Ah, yeah, just rip that thing open. I dig these old cards. You know, these are kind of an old style card. You've seen them way back in the 70s and the CBDAs kind of modeled kind of like this. These always crack me up. I like seeing these. Thanks, Jim. Kilo Charlie 3 Hotel Whiskey. I really enjoy the self-addressed stamped envelopes because I'm terrible about sending cards back. I used to be really good about it, and I've just gotten lazy. Another envelope. Whiskey Bravo 6 Juliet Uniform India. Thank you, sir. Just a couple more. Like I said, I can make 1,000 contacts, and I bet you I get 10, 15 cards. That's okay. I get it. 2 little pieces of information in there. A little note on what he's trying to achieve. Well, thanks, Steve. Whiskey Bravo 8, India, India, India. Actually, remember that call from, which contest was that? The 7QP. I don't know why that call just kind of stuck in my head, the India, India, India. Thanks, Steve, for the card. And this one, Kilo 3 Yankee Delta X-Ray. Thanks, Hank. So we'll get all these cards answered today. Like I said, I enjoy getting these cards. It's kind of a throwback for a lot of, especially the younger hams. They didn't experience the whole QSL card thing early. And, you know, I started in radio in 90, 89, 90, somewhere in there. And I've always enjoyed getting the cards. You know, back then, there was no electronic exchanges for any of this. So I really enjoy still getting them. I freely admit I'm terrible about getting cards sent back in a timely manner. I used to QSL, every contact I made, I'd send a QSL card out, but not so much anymore. Anyway, that's the update here from the Ham Shack. Nice 72 degrees in here. I think right now it's about 98 outside, maybe 99. It's too hot. Sounds like the rest of the week's going to get a little bit cooler, still high 90s, but maybe with a little bit of cloud cover. So, well, I hope everybody's doing great out there. Hopefully you're not roasting and frying in this weather if you're in an area that's getting this stupid hot weather. So thanks for watching. Some mine videos coming up. I'm hoping to have them out this weekend, at least one out this weekend. We were going to go camping originally this weekend, but we've got other things planned, kind of double booked that. So we're not going out camping. We're just going to sit around and enjoy. We may take a little trip up to Sumter, look around what's up there. May run into a couple of you folks that watch the channel up there. We always enjoy when we get flagged down. Hey, we love the channel. It always still catches me off guard when people do it. We had, the kids had a little sports camp at church, and I had a gentleman, and for the life of me, I can't remember your name, so I apologize. He walked up to me and said he loves the channel. It was really funny too. We both had the exact same hat on. I noticed it right off the bat that he had that same hat on because I just ordered that hat like a week or two before. So kind of a don't tread on me Second Amendment hat. So anyway, I forgot your name, and I completely apologize. I'm terrible with names. But it still catches me off guard when people walk up and say, I've had it happen like 4 times this year. People just walk up, hey, are you the guy that's on YouTube? And I'm always like, oh, what's this person want? And then, oh, we just love your channel. It throws me off guard so much. I'm not used to people walking up to me like that and just out of the blue talking to me like that. So if If I look like I'm like standoffish, it's because I'm like still getting used to that. So don't be offended. If you see me, come up and say hi. Me or the family, just walk up and say hi to us. We always enjoy seeing some of the people that view the channel. So I think that's about it for today. I'm going to wrap this up. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video.